How'd that come together?
Yep, last Thursday, had the Jet Award, and it was out in Omaha. It was a 2-day deal, but I got to meet a bunch of really good people, and there was 4 or 5 previous Heisman winners there, I think from the 70s, 80s, which I've never heard of the guys, and then I watched them tape, and I was like, these dudes can play, so it was just cool being in their presence and just meeting a bunch of new people there.
Was that the first time you would have met Tim Dwight?
Yeah, that was the first time I met Tim, and he's an awesome dude. And he told me to stay in contact, and I'll be in contact with him for a while now. So.
Have you seen some of his old game video?
Yeah,
high school or college?
Yep. Me and Coach Woods have watched film with him here, so I've already been studying him, and I mean he was a beast too. So.
That's funny you say you and Coach Woods have watched. Is he a guy who Coach Woods used as an example for return guys, like for the last 10 years or however long he's been here?
For sure. And he's my build too, really short guy, short, fast guy. So his film's been really good to watch and kind of learn how he did stuff. So.
Again, I guess could you just walk me through your decision to come back and play another year?
Yeah, well, I just felt it was my best decision to come back, and I really wanted more receiver film as well. So that's the plan for this year, and hopefully it'll pay off. So.
If you had time to just kind of reflect on, you started at community college and then you had the season that you had last year. Could you just talk about maybe some of those reflections?
For sure. I mean, I had a big reflection moment when I was just giving a speech at the Jet Award ceremony, and I had a bunch of coaches there from Iowa Western, and it was just kind of cool to get back with those guys and really realize where I came from and how I got to this point. So it was just cool to kind of realize that again. So.
You talked about getting more receiver film. Is that something you've been getting a lot of in spring practice? Have you been getting a lot of reps at receiver?
Yeah, for sure. So that's been going good so far. So I just got to capitalize and transition into the fall. So.
Did you get a chance to talk to Tim Dwight at the Jet Award?
Yep. Yes, I did.
What was that like?
It was
Had you met
awesome.
him before?
Yes. I went to his camp before. I'd never met him, so that was the first time meeting him, and it was just awesome to talk to him. And we were talking ball, and he told me to stay in contact. So. Yeah.
Does it feel weird to be one of the older guys in the receiving?
Yeah, they'll call me Grandpa. So that's awesome, because I used to call Nico Reganey then. It's kind of all falling back on me now, so I don't know, it's a good time being around with all the guys.
I know you were asked about it leading up to the bowl game, but are you on scholarship now officially?
Yep. I was on after the bowl game. So.
What was that? Just how did you find out about it, and what was that kind of like?
Coach Fears just called me after the game, and he just told me I earned it, and that was really the phone call. I just told him I appreciated it and ready to do work this year. So.
You had a lot of fans also advocating for you to be on that scholarship. What was that like?
I didn't really get too involved with it. It's just kind of funny to see everybody talking. I had a bunch of friends at the too. Just relax, guys. Everything will fall in place. So.
When you reflect on your journey and getting to the scholarship, I mean, you worked for everything that you've earned.
Yeah.
What do you think? What now do you think about just your journey?
I mean, I appreciate all of it, and I mean, being a walk-on, that kind of motivated me even more, so I'm kind of glad I came in as a walk-on and pushed me to be even better and eventually got to this position. So.
What more do you want to do as a wideout this year? Contributing more, you said, but anything?
Sure, I'm trying to push this unit to be the best it's been in a while, and I think we've got all the guys, and if we can put all the pieces together, we should be really special this fall.
And what's kind of the emphasis from Tim Lester here, and for some of the guys that are in the second year of the offense, what are just some of the talking points, things you guys are working on? Just
moving to the next step. Last year was all implementation and everything, and even the fall we were still learning some new things, and now everybody knows the system, and it's really just building on that, watching coverage and kind of learning to switch the routes mid-coverage or whatnot. So it's just really the second step, and I think we've been doing a great job so far this spring, but we still have a long ways to go. So.
I mean, what's new in the passing game this time around?
It's really just kind of like I said, like recognizing coverage, and we have routes that it can change depending on what coverage. So just learning all the coverages and knowing, just getting familiar with everything, and that'll help us really take a next step this fall.
Okay. Iowa has kind of a funny reputation for being a location where specialists really thrive. There are in a lot of programs where punters are known around the city, but obviously had that here in Iowa City. Now return specialist, a guy like you who now is probably a household name for a lot of Hawkeye fans. Have you adjusted to that, or has that been different? Have you noticed a big difference from like a year ago to where you are now, where people are just recognizing you around town a lot more?
I've noticed a couple of places going out to eat or whatnot, people wanting pictures. It's awesome, and I know we've got a bunch of dudes in the room who I know will get the same stuff after me. We got a lot of special guys, so hopefully push them to get all the recognition as well.
Has the scholarship situation resolved itself?
Yep. Got one after the bowl game. So
You did?
Yep.
How exciting was that?
It was awesome, man. And I was kind of hoping it would happen, kind of expecting it, but we were talking about it earlier. All the people in media giving him crap. It was all funny to watch. But, yeah.
So we put some pressure on him? Was that?
Yeah. So appreciate you guys.
I think you said something about after the game. Was it right after the actual Music City Bowl that Ferentz called you in and said you were on scholarship, or how long after?
It was about a week after the game. I was actually out eating with my buddies at the table, and I got a call from the coach. I was like, yeah, I better take this one. And told him, but yeah, it was a cool experience.
How'd you tell your parents or your family?
I just texted them all, and they were all super excited. Like, yeah, let's go out to eat and have a good time. But, yeah.
And Kate, by the end of the season, teams weren't kicking to you as much. Do you feel like there's room for improvement in that area of your game too?
Well, I'm hoping they don't do next year. I'm kind of expecting it, but I mean, when they do kick it, hopefully make them pay. So.
Are you guys seeing growth in the pass game, where you guys are making more plays this spring than last spring? Is that just repetitions? Is it?
It all comes with repetition. I was telling them last year it was all implementing the new offense and still learning stuff in the fall. And now everyone knows what we're doing now, and it's kind of taking the next step and developing each route depending on coverage and whatnot. So it should be pretty good this fall.
What have you seen from Sam Phillips transferred in?
He's a good dude. He's super fast. He's just like me. So good to have another guy like that in the offense who can do stuff.
When you talk about wanting to improve in the receiving game, like what are things you're specifically working on to try to make those steps?
Just developing as a receiver itself. Releases, routes, and everything. There's always room to improve, and all of us we got a bunch of improvements to make. And I mean, where we are right now, I'm pretty excited to see how far we can go in the fall. So.
Who else is working at punt and kickoff with you?
We really haven't. I mean, there's 10 to 15 guys catching punts before practice, but the spring we really don't do much with returns or anything. So I don't really know what to tell you right now.
You're just basically catching footballs back.
Catching and getting repetition. So.
You excited to get